Hello everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make a kaftan with pockets and how to embellish it. So let's get into the video. So I've gone ahead and drawn some lines just to ensure that we are all following. As you can see, I've drawn the line for the armhole, the half length and the hips, as you can see. So now we're going to start from the neckline. I left some inches above the first line just so that that can be used for allowance. So I'm going to measure the neckline. I'm using 4.5 for the neckline. You can use 5 or you can use 4, but remember that when you're making it, your client's head should be able to pass through the neckline. So always remember that. So for the depth, you can use 6, you can use 5, but just remember the previous rule. Let your client's neck be able to pass through your neckline. So as you can see, I've drawn my neckline. So now I'm going to go ahead and mark how I want the slits in the middle of the neckline to be. So if you don't want to add the slits, there's no problem, you can make yours plain. So then I'm going to go ahead and mark the shoulders, and after marking it, we're going to now mark the armhole. When marking the armhole, remember to add extra 1/2 inch because we're going to be subtracting 1/2 inch for the shoulder slant. So as you can see, I've marked the armhole length, and then I'm going to go down by 1/2 inch because I added 1/2 inch earlier on, and then I'm going to join those points together. And then now it's time for the armhole curves. So before I do the armhole curve, I will have to add the bust measurement. So for kaftans, you know it has to be free. You are going to add 2 inches to your original measurement before dividing it by 4. This is for ease, and this is to ensure that it is not tight or fitted on the body. You can add 2 inches, you can add 3 inches, but you have to add these inches to your original measurement before you divide it by 4. So I've gone ahead and I've done that, and I'm marking it now, as you can see. Please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. If this is the first time you're watching my video or are here to subscribe, please support my channel by subscribing and liking this video. Thank you so much. After marking the bust, I've gone ahead and I've marked the waist. The waist, I added 2 inches before dividing it by 4. So now I'm going to join the bust to the half length, as you can see. So no matter what your waist is or your bust is or your hips is, add 2 or 3 inches depending on how free you want it to be before you divide it by 4. So now we're going to head on to the hips. We're going to add 2 inches to our original measurement and divide it by 4, and then mark it, as you can see. Now I'm going to go ahead and make sure these lines are curvy because our bodies are not straight. So as you can see, I went ahead and make everything curvy. Since this is a kaftan, what you got for your hip measurement after adding the 2 or 3 inches allowance, you are going to apply that same measurement to the full length of your gown from the hips. As you can see, I used the same measurement right from the hips all the way down to the hemline of your dress because this is a kaftan. So now we're going to head on and add necessary allowances. So now we're going to mark 2 inches below the waistline or the half length, and then we're going to create a kind of cup-like design that is extending out of the original measurement. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So this is 2 inch, or you can even use 1.5 inch, but it should not be at the exact waistline. You can go down by 2 inches or by 3 inches, and then you should stop at 1 inch or as exactly the hip line. So you can go down by 1 inch, or you can just use the hip line to create that curve. So as you can see how I'm doing this. One thing you should notice that there are so many clients that are interested in ready-to-made kaftans. So you can actually sew these in bulk and then add an embellishment on the neckline and then sell. Advertise it on your page or something and people will buy. As you can see, I've created the pockets. So all I have to do now is just to add the allowance. I usually use 2 inches for allowance for the side seams. Then I'm going to go ahead and add half an inch for the pocket allowance. I'm going to add half an inch all round. As I mentioned earlier on, I added half an inch for the neckline and the armhole, and then for the side seams I added 2 inches, and then I made this pocket. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut this out. After cutting it out, so we're going to place the front piece on the folded fabric, as you can see. So now for the back piece, the armhole is not supposed to go in like so. So I'm going to be correcting that for the back piece, and I'm going to be extending the armhole of the back piece. I'm going to go ahead and mark the back neckline. You can use 1.5 inches, you can use 2 inches, you can use 3, but the back should be higher than the front. So I'm going to go ahead and also add the allowance for the back neckline. The only changes is the neckline and the armhole. The side seam and the pocket remain the same. So after doing this, I'm going to cut it out. So I want to create an extra design for the front piece. So instead of just making it a slit, I'm going to go ahead and make the slit open. So I'm going to measure half an inch inside, and then I'm going to cut it all the way to the center point, as you can see. So when you're done creating a design, you can go ahead and cut out the facings for your necklines, the back and the front neckline. So now we're ready to sew. We're going to open this up and place the facings, and then we're going to sew it up. So this is for the back, this is for the front, as you can see. So I went ahead and cut out the sleeve. I have a video on how to cut out basic sleeve, so please go and watch that video. I'll leave the link in the description box. So now this is the good side of the fabric. You are going to place good sides facing each other, and you are going to go ahead and sew using the half an inch allowance that we added previously. You are going to do the same thing to the back piece as well. So I've gone ahead and I've sewn it, as you can see. You can see how neat this is looking already. This is the back piece as well. So I'm going to go ahead and create notches all around so that it will be relaxed. So now I'm going to join the shoulders together. So I'm going to sandwich the front piece in between the shoulders of the back piece, and then I'm going to go ahead and sew it up. After sewing the shoulders, I'll go ahead and join the sleeves. As you can see, I've joined the sleeves to it. I hemmed the edge of the sleeves and then I joined it to the main piece. That is, I joined it to the main dress itself. So now you're going to go ahead using the 2-inch allowance. You're going to sew the side seams and hemline of your dress. So before you actually sew the side seams, you are supposed to measure out between 10 or 7 inches from the hemline. This is to allow for you to be able to work a slit that is going to be at the sides of your kaftan, so that whoever is wearing the kaftan can walk or cross any place that they want to cross easily. So after you measure that out, you're going to sew your side seams. You're going to sew it up and you're going to stop at exactly that point that you measured earlier on. As you can see how I stopped here. So now you're going to go ahead and fold this in. You can see you're going to go ahead and fold this in and sew it up. You can use iron to give you precision. You can iron this out so that when you're sewing, it will lie flat. You are going to do this on both sides of your kaftan. If you are going to be selling this in bulk to clients or to advertising it on your page, don't forget to weave the insides. I'm going to go ahead and also weave the insides of mine. You can see I've ironed this out, the side slits, and you can see how neat this is looking already. So now we are going to work on the designs. So I have to place a paper there so that you can see the design at the center front of the neckline. So these are the beautiful designs I'm going to be using for my kaftan. My client specifically chose this one, yes, because I went shopping for her and she picked this one. So as you can see how beautiful this design is, you can place it like so, but I was not so comfortable with how it looked, so I'm going to change up the style and place it like this. Whenever you are purchasing designs, please be very careful of defect. As you can see, this came with a little defect and I never knew, so I had to place this in such a way that the defect wouldn't show on the dress. So you can go ahead and place the design with UHU glue or your glue gun. Advisable, I actually advise using UHU glue because it will not get melted by heat when you're ironing your clothes. So I've gone ahead and I've fixed it. As you can see how the design looks and you can see how beautiful this is. Thanks for watching my video. Like, share and subscribe to my channel. Bye. See you in my next video.